Welcome back to the bio session. Today we are going to discuss multiple choice questions related to the topic inheritance. Let's start from one by one.
Question number 1. Cells are formed by the division of existing cells. 4 different cells are shown. Which cell is produced by meiosis? Answer is A. Albinism is an inherited condition in which pigment does not develop in the skin, hair, and eyes. The allele for albinism is recessive. What are the chances of albino parents having an albino child? D. 100%. The diagram represents processes in sexual reproduction. Which processes are represented by stage Q and R? B. Which name is given to the observable features of an organism? Phenotype. D. Which structure will be found in the nucleus of a body cell in a woman? B. Owner of successful race horses hope that the horse's offspring will be like their parents. How does a young race horse inherit its characteristics? A. In pea plants, the allele for tall T is dominant to the allele for dwarf small t. Which cross would produce plants in proportion of 1 to 1 tall to 1 dwarf? Answer is C. Question number 8. Which substance is coded for by a length of DNA? Answer is D. What are alleles? Answer is B. A pure breeding plant with smooth stems was crossed with a heterozygous plant with hairy stems. What will the ratio of hairy to smooth stems in the resulting plant? Answer is A. Here are the answers. Question number 11. Which statement about the human sex chromosomes is correct? The answer is B. Everybody has at least one X chromosome. What results from meiosis of a diploid cell? Answer is B. Genetically different haploid cells. Question number 13. What will be the genotype of the offspring resulting from a genetic cross between two individuals, one of which is homozygous dominant T, and the other heterozygous? The answer is C. 50% TT and 50% T small t. Question number 14. Which of these cells is haploid? The answer is C. A sperm cell. A genetic cross between two organisms may be shown as G small g times G small g. What does small g represent? Answer is C. A recessive allele. Some fruit flies have orange eyes and others have red eyes. If two orange-eyed fruit flies are crossed, their offspring always has orange eyes. If two red-eyed fruit flies are crossed, their offspring sometimes include both orange and red-eyed flies. What can be concluded from these observations? Answer is C. The allele for red eyes is dominant. Question number 17. What are correct descriptions of mitosis and meiosis? The answer is C. Mitosis is involved in asexual reproduction, and meiosis is involved in halves the chromosome number. Question number 18. A man has 3 sons. What is the chance of his next child being a son? The answer is C. Question number 19. The diagram shows a cross between heterozygous tall pea plants. Which statement is not correct? The answer is D. The ratio of different phenotypes in the offspring is 1 to 1. The diagram shows a plant cell. Where is most of the DNA found? The answer is in the nucleus A, and the answers will be shown in the next slide. Question number 21. The diagram shows the chromosomes in the nucleus of a cell that divides by mitosis. Which diagram shows the chromosomes in the nucleus of one daughter cell produced? The answer is C. Question number 22. The diagram shows the fusion of gametes to produce a son and a daughter. What are the sex chromosomes in gamete Q and son R? The answer is B. X in the Q and XY in R. What are the sex chromosomes for human females and males? The answer is A. In fruit flies, the allele for gray body, capital G, is dominant over the allele for black body, small g. The result of mating between two flies is shown. What were the genotypes of the parents? The answer is A. Question number 25. A plant has two different alleles of a gene, resulting in it having a green seed. Which row describes the phenotype and genotype of the seeds of this plant? The answer is C. Question number 26. The shape of a person's earlobes is determined by a single gene. This gene has dominant and recessive alleles. The allele for detached earlobes is dominant to the allele for attached earlobes. The diagram shows the inheritance of earlobe shape in a family. What's the probability of the next child from the same parents having a detached earlobe? The answer is C. Which sex chromosomes are present in all mature human sperm cells? The answer is B. Question number 28. The diagram shows a cell dividing into two. Which process is shown in the diagram? The answer is A. Question number 29. The chart shows the inheritance of fur color in a small mammal. If the allele for white fur is dominant, which animal must be heterozygous for the controlling fur color? The answer is C. The diagram shows the chromosomes from one person. What can be deduced about the person who has these chromosomes? The answer is B. And the next slide will be the answers for questions 21 to 30. Question number 31. Genetics is the study of B. The answer is B. Mechanisms of inheritance. 32. What is unlikely to be affected by the environment? The answer is A. Question number 33. Which statement is true of both chromosomes and genes? The answer is B. Most birds have a colored pigment in their feathers, but in few individuals pigment is absent and the birds are albinos. Albinism occurs when a bird is homozygous recessive for the gene which creates the colored pigment. If two albino birds mated, what describes the appearance of their offspring? The answer is A. Question number 35. In an animal, the allele for straight fur is dominant to the allele for curly fur. A pair of these animals mate and have 9 offspring, with straight fur and 3 with curly fur. F represents the allele for straight fur and small f represents the allele for curly fur. What are the most likely genotypes of the parents? The answer is D. What defines a diploid nucleus? The answer is A. Albinism in humans is caused by a recessive allele. Parents who do not suffer from the condition produce an albino child. What is the probability that their second child will be born albino? The answer is A. Question number 38. An individual has the genotypes capital B, small b. What is the correct description of this genotype? The answer is A. Question number 39. The diagram shows the inheritance of flower color in pea plants. At which stages in the diagram does meiosis occur? The answer is A. In cats, the allele for short hair is dominant to the allele for long hair. A short-haired cat gives birth to 5 kittens. 2 of them have long hair. Which statement must be correct? The answer is C. On the next slide, the answers from 31 to question 40 will be shown. Next, question number 41. Cystic fibrosis is an inherited disease that occurs when an individual is homozygous for a recessive allele. If parents are both heterozygous for this characteristic, what is the probability that their first child will have cystic fibrosis? The answer is B. Question number 42. What determines the sex of a baby? The answer is B. Question number 43. When white-flowered pea plants are crossed with red-flowered pea plants, the offspring, capital F1, all have red flowers. If these capital F1 plants pollinate themselves, the next generation, capital F2, contains both red and white flowered plants. Which statement explains this? The answer is A. Question number 44. A pure breeding white mouse was crossed with a pure breeding black mouse. All their offspring were black. Then one of the offspring was bred with a pure breeding white mouse. They produced 10 baby mice. What are the most likely colors of these mice? The answer is A. Question number 45. How does a haploid nucleus differ from a diploid nucleus of the same species? The answer is B. Question number 46. What results from meiosis of a diploid cell? Answer is B. Question number 47. What is an allele? The answer is B. Question number 48. Which types of variation can be inherited? The answer is B. Question number 49. Which statement describes human cells formed by meiosis? The answer is C. A short-toed animal was crossed with a long-toed animal of the same species. All the offspring had short toes. One of these offspring was crossed with another long-toed animal of the same species. What's the ratio of short-toed to long-toed animals that should be expected? The answer is A, and in the next slide I'm going to show the answers from question number 41 to question number 50. Thanks for listening. MCQs selected to inheritance will be conducted in part 2.